winner bracket semi-final. Here we go on Supply in 3, 2, 1. We are fight. I'll give you a better ETTV sync up in just a moment. Gaming2Perfection lining up on the Allied side. This is Queens' map. Queens have picked Supply, and they line up with Clown, Mind, Raz, Perfo, Physic, and Cot as the early FFEs rain in from them and hold up that Gaming2Perfection side. The G2P team line up with Cherry, Grim, Stonage, Cresty, Jera, and Blade. And the G2, this match, as we were talking about earlier, really represents two very different schools of enemy territory. Not the new school by any means, but you've got a team of haves versus a team of wants. This Gaming2Perfection side want to win. They are hungry for gold. And they have a dynamite planted on the 4 bunker gate at 14 minutes and 5 seconds. They've rolled through this first stage. Queens absolutely mullered. I was still halfway through my match introduction when Queens just said, actually, we're not going to do anything on this first stage. And Gaming2Perfection must be smelling gold here. The G2P side, as I mentioned, want gold. They're a lineup of people who've been around a very long time. Met all of these people at the Crossfire Lands, and they've never quite been able to breach it. The best would be the likes of Jera and Cherry, who, with Worm and the gang, I think they made it to 3rd or 4th in one of those tournaments. But Cresty and Stonage never did. On their opponent's side, you've got someone like Clown, who's got Crossfire Challenge gold medals just decorating his bathroom. And they, however, that Queen's side, are being challenged here by G2P. Queens with a light roster change with Physic coming in right on game time will really be a little bit, rusty to say the truth. Missile was practiced, and I made a mistake earlier. It was Mind that said that Missile had just been practiced by Queens with a Nexus before this match. So got that one wrong. Possibly the wrong map to have gone for the G2P side. Who knows? They're making a pretty good show of themselves here on Supply Depot. 12 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. And we are underway in earnest as Clown and Cont help themselves to a hat-trick of frags. There goes Physic. Oh, Physic, ting-ting. And that'll be Grim, picked off as Mind helps himself to a landmine frag, and Perfo gets himself another one. Gaming2Perfection have been held up a little bit on this middle stage as they try to get the command post or break down through the tunnel, whichever comes first, and just shifts that Queen side back a notch. But Queens laying down all sorts of fire. Raz with an artillery and MP40 frag. Cot helps himself to another MP40 frag. And here go the G2P side once more. Over the hill, or up to the hill, and go for a revive. Still 5 players out there. And they're struggling to make a dent. It's less that Queens haven't offered much variance because they've been down the tunnel, they've been over the middle. They've offered a handful of different strategies in the 2 minutes they've been pushing up this hill. But it's more the fact that Queens have had artilleries blocking them every which now. I'm on board with Grim right now, and he's getting hammered by artillery. He and Cresty, though, have made it through. It's all down to Cot now to save it. Cot picks up one, but here comes the stand power of Cresty from behind. Good work from Cresty. He had a choice. Does he go straight for the objective, or does he wait, come around the back, and surprise Cot? He did exactly that, although I'm not sure Cot knew Cresty was there, in fact. As it's been a long, long time since I've said the word Cot. Not because I'm afraid of it, but because Cot hasn't been around. There you go. Leon has decided to tell me that Mind was just trolling. I should have known better when referencing Mind. Apparently they practiced Supply Depot and Gold Rush against the Nexus side. So thank you, Leon, for pointing out my being trolled. As 10 minutes and 41, 40, 39 on the clock. Dynamite is yellow on the front door. Cherry is there. He's going to get a revive from one. Jera's also going to try and put his pliers to the Dynamite. He does so, but G2P running out of numbers down by there. If there's an engineer to get there, he shouldn't face too much difficulty. Is it... I don't see any engineers, though, and that's because someone from the Gaming2Perfection side broke through. I think it was Blade, and that certainly will have done enough to push the Queen side back. And they are now going to have to fall all the way back. And with just over 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes and 3 seconds left. As Cherry's double grenade really does the job. Physics and Mind both picked off, and Queen's caught men down here as Dynamite goes down on West. Jarrett's going to come across and support with grenades. He and Cherry tossing up, and they get themselves another grenade frag. Never seen so many. Rifle landed by Jarrett as well. Drops Raz as he basketball hoops that one in. He's going to boost Grim over towards the top, and Grim will dive through. Blade is up on the top as well, and this Queen side being breached as every wall gets poked open. And Queens must now push on in. Let's see what they can do. Physic is going to make himself known as he gets revived by Raz. Raz now pops himself up to the top and goes a-shooting as they get themselves a frag onto Blade before self-killing and regrouping. For Queens, it's absolutely crucial that they can find themselves another 90 seconds or so, and that'll set them up all right for hitting that 10-minute time, which gives you any number of chances here on Supply Depot. But a very open Supply Depot thus far. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to play as Mind gets himself a K-43 frag and then gets a Thompson up his backside. Raz now pokes his head through the front door, charges up towards the side, and self-kills out as the Queen side regroup. So good work from Queens. Their discipline's been fine, their self-kills have kept everyone organized, and they have never been caught lacking numbers. But on the G2P side, you can look at the grenades that they've been able to throw. Some of their boosting has opened up this defense quite nicely. But that area for, I guess, flamboyant attacking play is pretty much over now. Now that the East and West and Main are all opened up by the Dynamites, excuse me, now that Queen aren't particularly holding in one particular area, they're free to poke their heads out and look and see where people go for a boost, and it doesn't really offer them too much. And obviously if you're boosting on one side, that takes one or two players out of the loop, so it's kind of an easy scenario to defend at times when you're all opened up like this. But I say all of that, and whilst I'm waffling on about rubbish, you've got Gaming2Perfection who have made their way through and have now got the truck into position. Cresty's done the job, and they're now going to try and chase up here and see if they can get these crane controls built. A rifle nade hits in the face of one, and there's Cherry down by another rifle, but there's a second engineer. He's going to get it built, but there's no one to press the red button, and then Grim comes along. He activates the crane and then self-kills. For a second, I thought he wasn't even going to get it before he self-killed, and Perfo will have to set up the defensive job. 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go, and Queens have found themselves pushed a little bit further back for comfort here as G2P are looking good at the moment. It's going to be Mind and Cot to pick up some frags, and Queens need to find a little bit of time here. We're headed for, well, if the truck left now, we'd be headed for a 9-minute time. Now, Cresty's going to go in there and just overpowering. The Queen side really getting caught out here, just defending one by one, and Gaming2Perfection just picking them off with medic revives going in all over the place and always having more numbers than their opponents. Raz tosses a grenade in the back of the truck. Clown will poke his head out, and they've just about stopped that truck from going round the corner. It sat very much on the corner, but Physics doesn't get the revive onto Mind in time, and Mind's been kind of quiet in this game. I'll probably pop up the damage stats and he'll have a heck of a lot more, but Raz is going to push out, and as Raz pushes up, he's going to have to deliver. Cot taken out by a teammate's grenade as they self-kill, and then Grim flies off that rock, takes himself the frag onto Physic, and then goes looking for Perfo. Doesn't quite find him, but he's got eyes on the truck. Cot double MP40 frag, rolling back the years as Luger comes out from Perfo, picking off one. Cherry's Thompson does her job. Perfo with another Luger frag, as with 5 minutes and 50 to go, Raz chimes in with one of his own as well, and the Queen side have racked up frag after frag after frag, but Gaming2Perfection have always got a syringe out, and that's not to suggest that they're hardcore drug addicts. That's more to suggest that their medic work has been absolutely fantastic. And now let's see whether that can continue and they can get this truck out. 5:30 to go as Perfo picks himself up an MP40 and downs one. Physic's been picked off, and he seems to be the brunt of all of G2P's frags at the moment, as Blade is going to get himself chased out as well. Stonehenge and Blade will come in from the East Depot wall, and Stonehenge is going to have to get a revive, and neither of them will make their way through as they chase out. 4 medics coming through east now, as the truck is already moving, as Cresty's pushed it along. Grim tries to get in there, can't quite, and Blade does get towards that truck, but he's a moving target that's swatted like a clay pigeon. And now, with 4:50 on the clock, Queens are going to get in the back. Oh, what a grenade from Clown, right as I think it was Grim nestled in the back, and he was sat thinking, I'm going to get this truck out of here, it's going to be good. No, in the end it wasn't. And we have 4 minutes and 32 seconds left to go as Perfo drops Clown on his own side. And here we go. Physic makes his way in through the side. He's going to get himself, as I say, no matter whenever I look at Physic, he's getting himself killed. And right on cue he does there. He only joined Queens about, 30 minutes ago. But he's certainly made an impact, perhaps not positive. Truck moving through the door, and this should be the last push for G2P now. Barring that support fire that's billowing its way out of the truck now, doing any damage. The truck will move around that corner, and we're going to look at about 11 minute and 30 second time, if all being well, for G2P, which is plenty for Queens to attack. The question is, can they finish the job? Raz's artillery rains down, but the truck will go. And there you go. Time is going to be set. It is going to be 11 minutes and 24 seconds. And we'll see when we come back whether these guys have got anything left in the tank from the Game to Perfection side. Queens have to be the favorites, but 11:24 is a defendable time. We'll be right back